Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is January 23rd, 2024, and today is Tuesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, Nasdaq tapering off its all-time record highs. But first, no major economic events scheduled for today. So as we look at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, the major pairs pretty much unchanged while we're watching the Turkish Lira continue to make new record lows and passing that 30 mark versus the dollar. Now looking at the indices, the Dow Jones remains unchanged day to day. And as we look at commodities, gold trickling lower while oil sitting on resistance. Now, looking at the stocks, Microsoft is taking its turn now on its record highs. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin continues to sell off. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So due to some personal reasons, I took off for about 10 days. And if we look at the Turkish Lira, nothing has changed. It's still on the same course and it's depreciating as we're looking at it. And it finally cleared that 30 mark, which I mentioned right before I took a leave. And sure enough, we're at 30.23. So had we held on to this from last May, we would have gone from 18 to 30. That's almost doubling in price. That's almost a half its weight than what it was a year ago. Unbelievable. Okay, so it continues to get weaker. Now looking at the other major pairs, day to day hasn't really changed much. We saw the Japanese yen actually getting just slightly stronger. And then, as it depreciated, it was at 50% mark. And sure enough, that's where it corrected. So nothing really jumping at us right now when it comes to the currencies. Now looking at gold, gold is trading on its bottom range, 2029 right now. So 2100 was the top range, 2200 on the bottom range, and it's bouncing off of that lower range. On the flip side, okay, and this is crude oil, is doing this opposite thing. We're consolidating at this area, but we are at resistance-ish area. And sure enough, we'll continue this until we have some sort of impetus to push us higher. Now, jumping into the U.S. markets, the Nasdaq is the one, okay, trading to 17,576, blowing week to week. Let's take a look at it. Blowing its upper limit, which is really unbelievable. Okay, so it has continued its strength moving on to the upside. If we look at Dow Jones, not doing much. Okay, if we look at it daily, yeah, it hit highs, but it's just hanging on those all-time record highs, not bouncing above it. Now, if we look at the individual stocks, this is where great, very interesting. Microsoft was the weakest. It was always the weakest over the past couple of months, where it completely has changed character and rallied to $396 a share. Now looking at the JP Morgan, did blow itself up on the upside after it did warn and missed. So there's some positive news on this outlet moving forward. Now looking at Facebook, making a double top here. Okay, this is really also very important because it's on its highs, but it's got to really break above it and hold above it for us to really consider it. Now, lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin trickling lower to 39,000. So we're off of our highs almost 10,000 points since we hit a high going into the end of the year. Now, this is cyclical. I've seen this movie once before where we rally into the highs for the end of the year and then it trickles down afterwards. So this is developing and having some historical repetition. And this is where it becomes much more interesting as opposed to just trading it on market action or just activity and jumping on the bandwagon and getting out really quickly. This has become much more of character that could be anticipating moving forward. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.